Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. We were back again on a Wednesday here, usually wacky Wednesdays. Do start with some breaking news involving the Chicago Bears. Has nothing to do on the field, has to do with the place that they may call home someday. So supposedly, basically now the Bears are threatening Arlington Heights and the city of Chicago that they may move to nearby northern Indiana to build a stadium.
Oh my God.
So it is now,
What
becoming
if they
a
went to South Bend?
well, it would be too far. It
Yeah.
would be like it'd have to be like Gary or like East Chicago. Yeah, try building. Yeah, let's build a stadium there because those are great places. Creepy photo says what's
A
up.
Merry Wednesday to you.
Um, yeah. So Kevin Warren put out a post basically saying that they're not looking for taxpayer money, which is, I mean, the Bears have no money. So it's the same thing that the Chiefs are running into, where basically all the money that the ownership has is involved with the team. I mean, the Bears were bought for $100 back over 100 years ago from George Hallis. So um, it worked out the way that it is. I mean, they bought the Arlington Heights property, which is like 45 minutes out of the city. Used to be a racetrack. It sounds like there's no traction there. I still think they're going to build in Chicago, in the city. That area where Soldier Field is. I mean, Soldier Field's a dump, let's be honest, but the area is the most pristine area of any team probably in the NFL. Right there on Lake Michigan, just outside the city. I mean, it is a cool location. So I think something will eventually get done, but now it looks like they're threatening Arlington Heights and the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. Because I think the state of Illinois said that the Bears Stadium will not be a priority for them in 2026 or whatever. So now we'll go to Indiana potentially. I don't believe it. This is just what happens when you have no money. These stadiums too is. I remember when I was in college, Trevor, was it freshman or sophomore year? I want to say it was sophomore year maybe. I did a project about like sustainability of like building stadiums and stuff. They started doing like different stuff. And one of the things was like building stadiums in these cities and tearing them down after like 20 years because they don't build stadiums to last anymore. And everybody was like, well, why do like taxpayers pay for the stadiums or whatever? Because I was a part of it. And I was like, because they threatened to move the team. You're like, whatever. These taxpayers now, they don't care. They're done. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs have been to 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls, have won 3 of them, and their taxpayers are like, we're not going to build you a new stadium.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, it makes sense though that they don't really build these stadiums to last. I mean, and like some of these stadiums are so crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Like if you think, who was the most recent? Was the Chargers the most recent?
Yeah, the Chargers and Rams, but Stan Kroenke basically paid for that all himself. The original budget was like $2.5 billion, and it ended up being $5 billion. But he's like one of the richest owners. I think he may be not the richest owner now in the NFL. He was before the Waltons, who own Walmart, took over the Broncos. But yeah, I mean, so he had money. The Waltons, I think, are going to build a new stadium in Denver, but they have the billions of dollars to do it.
Right.
So I honestly think it's going to get to a point where some of these teams are going to have to sell to get stadiums built. To get a billionaire that can afford to buy a stadium or build.
Because taxpayers won't foot the bill no more.
Well, yeah, because it's, the stadium in Miami for the Marlins was a joke. It's always one of those where it's like, oh, and so I don't know. It's just crazy. The Bears this has been a struggle for the last 4 or 5 years of like getting a stadium, trying to figure it out. They have no funding when it comes outside of it. They're notoriously cheap on things. Ben Johnson was the first thing they paid for, and it's worked out so far. So I don't know. It's just funny now that they're like, oh, now we may go to northern Indiana. Well, hell, I wouldn't be shocked if Southwest Michigan becomes an option after that.
That would be awesome. I would buy season tickets. I might become a Bears fan if that happened.
I mean, I did the drive from Chicago to here and to Southwest Michigan. It was like, with no traffic, it's probably like an hour. Which, depending on where you're going up to Arlington Heights from Chicago, maybe 40, 45 minutes. So
that would be awesome.
So I don't know, but it's just now funny now they're talking about northern Indiana. for the Bears. So that was just something that
Do you
just
really? So like, it really would be like Gary?
it'd be close to that.
That's terrible.
Like if you like look at the map, like the closest cities like to Chicago and northern Indiana. I mean, you're looking at like Hammond, Munster, Whiting, East Chicago. Um, yeah, I mean Gary, Highland, Cherville. I mean, like that's. I would think Gary would be the farthest they would look.
Yeah.
But maybe Whiting. Looks like it's by the water. I don't know how nice it is over there. Um, Yet again, now you're going to be asking the state of Indiana to now build you a stadium, and your name is the Chicago Bears. So I don't really know. Like I said, I think eventually something will get done with the city for them to build something close to downtown on the waterway where it is now, kind of. So I don't know. I mean, they bought
That
Arlington
just
Heights with the hope of moving out there, and then it's just they have no money to do it. So
what is like, because that brought up a good question or something that I was thinking. What is like the farthest, like, so like the Dallas Texans or Dallas Cowboys? They're
well,
not like they're not in
no,
Dallas though.
they're in Arlington.
Which like how I wonder how far, what's the
Not very.
farthest team from like their city? Because like, and then like the Giants and the Jets, aren't they in New Jersey?
Yes,
That just like blows my mind, dude.
I'm looking. I'm in chat.
The far, yes. And then like, yeah, New Jersey. That I don't. I mean, I don't know how far any of these, because like, or like, I guess the Patriots isn't like Boston.
Yeah, that's in like Foxborough, but they're
Yeah,
like the New
they're
England.
not the. Yeah, they're not the Boston Patriots.
49ers play at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, which is significantly distance from San Francisco, about 43 miles from downtown.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
That's
trying to
like
figure
way
out. Trying to figure out like what is 43 miles away from here. So 43 miles is like
probably, if you do like highway speed limit, that's like almost an hour away.
yeah. Kalamazoo's 34 miles away from here.
Yeah,
It's like a 45-minute drive. So you're looking at probably like an hour drive tops. New England Patriots, Foxborough is 22 miles from Boston, but they do everything in Foxborough, so it's different.
Yeah, and they're not the Boston Patriots.
Yeah, it's the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Jets and Giants are 12 miles away from New York City.
That's not that bad.
The Dolphins are 17 from Central Miami, which I have done that drive before. They are out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
But they did that basically so you can get like the Fort Myers people. You can get everybody. That's the problem with the Marlins Stadium is you're locked in the city. And so when you're trying to get a bunch of people for 162 games, you can't just always get them to come into the city.
Right.
So the Bills are 11 miles from Buffalo.
That's basically Buffalo.
The Commanders are 11 miles from Washington, D.C., but they're going to be moving back into Washington, D.C. with their new stadium.
Well, maybe they're the farthest because they're the Washington Commanders, not the Washington, D.C. Commanders, and Washington is on the other side of the country.
It is very true, actually. I never thought of that one. But yeah, no, it's the 49ers, 43 miles away.
That's insane. That's actually like, that's kind of blowing my mind. That's really far away.
Yeah, it is actually.
I wonder why that is.
Because it's to build it. It's like cheaper to build a stadium. That's why the Bears thought Arlington Heights was going to make sense.
That makes sense.
Here, let me do Chicago to Arlington Heights right now. So I have family in Arlington Heights, and they were like looking forward to the stadium potentially being built there. It's 32 miles from Chicago to Arlington.
So it would be like the second farthest.
It would be pretty far up there. So you're looking at traffic like right now is rush hour. You're looking at 100. You're looking at 1 hour and 12 minutes
from Chicago.
From Chicago to Arlington Heights downtown.
Oh my gosh, that's almost as bad as that's maybe even worse. But also, we're not incorporating San Francisco traffic into that, which I don't know how much traffic San Francisco gets.
I'm sure there's a lot up there because I know like San Jose and all that's up in there.
I'll have to ask my girlfriend's dad. Gino lived in San Jose for a little bit.
Oh yeah, so yeah, all that up there is kind of different. Yeah, because San Jose and San Francisco are San Jose is south of San Francisco, so
Wow, that's amazing. That is like blowing my mind that you can call yourself. I mean, I've always known like about the Cowboys, and I've known about
Cowboys
like,
aren't even on the list.
which is kind of crazy. Arlington must be super close.
Yeah,
Because like 11 miles isn't that far. That's like Dowagiac.
well, I know that like Dallas is like Dallas Fort Worth.
Gotcha.
They call it like the DFW, I think. Like they call it the Dallas Fort Worth area, and I think Arlington is like involved in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Okay.
Because that's kind of how they describe it, and it's like growing massively too because of that, like the way they distinguish it. So we'll see with the Bears. They may be in northern Illinois. We can talk about that more with Jerry, obviously as a Chicago kid himself.
Chicagoan.
Yeah, Chicago guy. Chicago. I come back from there, and that's all I could say because I was hanging out with people from Chicago.
Yeah,
all right, we have some comments here from Creepy Photo. Both backs going, Caleb. Yep. ND just does it different. That is very true. So Darian Price and Jeremiah Love both are saying that they are going to the NFL. If both go first and second round, has that ever happened? I'm sure there's been an Alabama team that's done something like that.
Yeah. Or even like, I don't know, dude. Like when you think about how stacked those
Maybe like
old
those Miami teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it here to me. Yeah, I mean it's Jeremiah Love was honestly probably in my lifetime. I would probably say he's probably close to the best I've watched as a Notre Dame fan.
At Notre Dame?
At Notre Dame, yeah. I mean,
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't put him number one just because my number one is like sentimental to me as just a kid. That's Brady Quinn. I don't think anybody can touch that one. That's just kind of like my first memories of football were Brady Quinn. So I think I just like live off that. It's like my number one Notre Dame guy. But Jeremiah Love's definitely up there talent wise too. I mean, he was a beast. He was different. Jadarian Price could have been Jadarian Price could have been the best running back at any other school and at Notre Dame if he just would have been the only guy.
Yeah.
But he did a lot on the kick return, and when he did touch the ball, it felt like he scored as well every time.
So you answered the question, your favorite guy at Notre Dame. Who's your least favorite guy that's ever played for Notre Dame?
Least favorite that's ever played for Notre Dame. I have a least favorite coach of all time. That would be Chip Long. He's been coordinator. He used to wear a turtleneck even when it was 95 degrees. I used to call him the turtleneck fuck. Children's program, but the least favorite guy that played at Notre Dame.
I would assume it's probably a quarterback, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe like Dane Chris, someone like that was like there for like a year, came in, thought they were everything, and then didn't really do much.
Well, yeah, because you got to think too. It's not someone that you're just like indifferent towards. You hate this guy, kind of.
Yeah, I don't really know. There's a lot of guys that hate. Like, so Dane Chris is probably up there just for like a guy that like thought he was gonna come in and be like a great quarterback for us, and then just like didn't do much. And then that's Tommy Reese kind of beat him out. That says pretty much everything,
right?
Everett Golston, just for the fact of like he was really good, and then ended up getting kicked out of Notre Dame. So it's one of those like what could have been,
right?
With Everett Golston. But then I would say that's probably for hate wise. I was pretty big on Stroman this year as a safety, who I swore he lost us the A&M game. And then he just ended up playing well towards the end of the year. He had a pick six at Syracuse and played really well the last couple games, so he did good. Nolan says his is Chris Tyree. Dude was trash. Yeah, I mean I don't hate Chris Tyree, but he like coming out of high school when we got him at the time, it was like he was like a top 50 running back out of Virginia. It was supposed to be the next big thing, and all we were told was like every time he touches the ball,
he scores.
Didn't really happen. He ended up transferring out, finished at Virginia. I mean, there's guys I hate that didn't sign at Notre Dame. But
yeah,
I'd probably like Dane Chris. I mean, it's like And I know like people hate Jimmy Clausen, but I liked Jimmy Clausen back then. I mean, I was just young. And those teams were fun because you had Michael Floyd and Golden Tate and Kyle Rudolph. I mean, that's who he threw to. I mean, that's crazy back on that. So, yeah, not a whole lot of guys I hate, but yeah, Chip Long's definitely the coach I hated the most.
Nice.
He was terrible.
What teams did I don't know him? What teams did he was he the offensive coordinator for?
So that would have been like I want to say like the mid 2010s maybe.
Oh.
So I want to say like when we were in like high school. Yeah, he always wore a turtleneck and it irritated the hell out of me. Yeah, he was offense coordinator from so like 17 to 19. So he was like 3 years under him. So yeah, like our later high school and then like freshman year of college. And then yeah, I think he got fired and then looks like he was at Southern Miss in 2024. So it doesn't even look like he's coaching anymore, really.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I just never liked him. I thought he was bad at it and he was just always conservative. But the turtleneck always got me. That was just terrible. All right, Trevor, we had another coach get fired today for cause. This one has been circulating since about December 1st, though. Brian Smith at Ohio has been fired for cause today. Smith violated his contract by, in quotes, engaging in serious professional misconduct and participating in activities that reflect unfavorably on the university. Still don't fully know what those are. I mean, activities that reflect unfavorably on the university. I don't really know what that could be.
We should get like a bet going on what it is. We can do the odds. So like having sex with your assistant.
Yeah, I mean
probably at probably like plus 300, I'd say.
Maybe.
Some sort of gambling thing. I'd go like plus 500.
Yeah, I mean unfavorably to the university is just he did something.
They wouldn't do that for like stealing signs like the Michigan stuff.
No, I don't think they do that.
What? I mean, it's
see, he's arguing that he didn't do anything. That's kind of what he's arguing. So his attorney come out and said they will fight termination to protect his good name. So they're saying he didn't do anything wrong, which of course they're going to say that. Oh, okay. Here we go. So I don't know how true this is, but Chris Vanity looks like he's a senior writer for The Athletic. He's getting this from somebody else. Consuming alcohol regarding storing and consuming alcohol in his university office.
What? That's what he got fired for?
Well, he could have been like drunk doing stuff, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin obtained Brian Smith's personal file, which included drinking / storing alcohol in his office. He said some coaches would toast a win. It came a week before he was put on leave, but it's unclear if it's connected. But I mean, he could have did like what Steve Sarkisian did and got drunk and maybe went to an event with boosters drunk. That's kind of what Steve Sarkisian did. He was actually coming to the facility and stuff drunk. He's since cleaned up his act, clearly. So it could be something like that. So it could be that. So it looks like he may have gotten in trouble for having alcohol.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like something like that. Like doing like you're supposed to be responsible for something and you're like drunk while doing it. Like toasting to a victory. Like I'm thinking of like the old movies when you go into a guy's office and he's like, "Would you like a thing of scotch?" And then you go, "Yes, please." And then he gets you, and then you have a discussion. Like
who knows? I mean, Ohio could be a dry campus. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
But when you text me at first, you said Ohio's coach. I was like, oh, Ryan Day, because I refer to Ohio State as Ohio when I talk about him. So, but no. So Brian Smith has been fired after he was put on leave on December 1st. So it seems like they've been doing an investigation and something missed.
Yeah, that's over 2 weeks.
So back-to-back weeks, a coach on a Wednesday been fired for cause. All right, we move on to the NFL. We'll go back to college to make our picks for the playoff games in the first round, but we're going to go to the NFL here. So the Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26, officially stopping the Cowboys and putting them down. The Vikings can't make the playoffs either, which they were talking about on the broadcast how that could maybe help the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy, where there's like no pressure now. You can kind of go and play. But the problem is, what is he going to do when he has pressure next year when the season starts 0-0 week 1?
Yeah.
But he did play good, I will say. He was 15 for 24, 250 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He had the interception to start the game, but that was one of those tipped.
Yeah.
And then caught by the defensive lineman. My biggest thing, though, is George Pickens this week had 3 catches for only 33 yards.
Well, dude, I was just going to bring up, J.J. McCarthy had a great day. But my boy, let's see, Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Justin Jefferson.
Didn't get anything.
What did he have? He had 2 receptions for 22 yards.
He did have a touchdown called back.
Yeah, I did see that. But I have him on my fantasy team. That's my biggest gripe. I'm actually in a dynasty league, and I was actually in a portion of the season where I was looking to trade him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can get something pretty good out of him. And J.J. McCarthy's young. He's probably going to be there for, another season or 2. So might as well. But no one bid on it. But, yeah, he's, destroying my fantasy team.
Yeah, I mean, they have good weapons, too. You have Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and it seems like he throws to Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, Naylor. Naylor was pretty good at with Carson Wentz, too. He had a couple good games with Carson Wentz.
So maybe he just gets open because of all the weapons around him, but you would think, J.J. McCarthy does something. But, I mean, I will say the Cowboys' defense is terrible.
That's true.
But, yeah, George Pickens only getting 3 catches. I mean, he had a great season so far, and now these last couple games, he's kind of been MIA when you're trying to get a contract and maybe get paid. Try and figure some things out here. It'll be interesting. But, yeah, so both those teams, it was just kind of like a loser's bracket game, and the Vikings ended up winning it. All right, moving on to the next game, which had some things came out of this one. The Steelers beat the Dolphins 28-15 to move to 8-6. I want to say they have a 2-game lead, I think, in their division, maybe. Just with the tiebreaker and everything. Aaron Rodgers played really well. He was 23 for 27, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. Steelers rushed the ball pretty well. They did play the Dolphins, I will say. The Dolphins are pretty dreaded. But on the other side, Tua Tagovailoa is getting benched for Quinn Ewers now.
Yeah, I didn't watch all this game. Did Tua play terrible? I did see he threw an interception to Asante Samuel.
Did have a pick. I think that this is probably just Mike McDaniels trying to prove hey, it's Tua, not me. That is our problem.
Yeah, well, and Quinn Ewers is a good young quarterback.
He's a rookie, so
yeah, he was good at Texas. So it's kind of exciting. I mean, this is probably something that a lot of teams should do. I know, with Tennessee, the starting Cam Ward thing is kind of not really even a decision. You kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many times we see a young quarterback that's really good in college have to get thrusted straight into an NFL offense, playing against an NFL defense, and then when they don't work out, they're viewed as a bust and then are banished to being a backup quarterback for the next, 6 years.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this. I kind of like that, Mike McDaniels didn't just throw him into the starting spot. I mean, obviously, Tua, has moments of being a competent quarterback. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Quinn Ewers does. It can't get worse, I think, is a thing, too.
Well, I think that's the thing. So on the season, Tua has 2,600 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 15 picks, pass rating of 36.7. He is owed $56 million next year on the cap. And then there's an opt-out option. So that's going to kind of be the question is, what do you do moving forward? Because basically this feels like either Tua is going to be your backup for a large cap hit or you're going to cut him and eat the money, or you're going to try and trade him, which I don't think anybody's going to take him on for that contract with his production. So it'll be interesting to see that, like, Kyler Murray's kind of in the same boat with the Cardinals. It
Yeah.
kind of feels like he's not going to play for them anymore either. So I don't know. I mean, this is if you're the Dolphins, I mean, you kind of, and this is where maybe Stephen Ross is maybe going to bite himself to say, why didn't I fire Mike McDaniel when they were terrible?
Yeah.
You get the interim in there, maybe you're worse than what you would have been. Mike McDaniel's still coaching for his job, so you're getting more wins. And you're taking yourself out of potentially to look at a young quarterback this draft.
Yeah.
Which would then give you the cheap contract. Basically, what the Broncos did is they were able to cut Russ, eat the cap, able to get Bo Nix on a cheap deal, and it's been able to work out for them. The Dolphins, you're kind of at limbo now. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah, because you are like the 500 spot. So I'm sure they'll be picking around like, 13, 14 or whatever. So, yeah, you're kind of in a spot to where all the really franchise quarterbacks that you could imagine, and particularly in this draft where I would say it's not super quarterback heavy,
Yeah.
that you're kind of in a bind where it's not really beneficial, I guess, to use that 13, 14 pick on a quarterback. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a really good point. Yeah, it's so hard in the NFL too because there is there's an incentive to not do very well. And there's almost no incentive to be in the middle of the pack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, yeah, I mean, unless you're trying to get back into a playoff spot, which I don't think the Dolphins can anymore, can they?
I don't think so. I think they've
So,
validated
I
that.
mean, I think, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't think they can win their division.
No.
But I don't know like what the wild card situation looks like. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult because someone's got to win like the AFC West, and the Chargers have a decent record. The Broncos look really good. The Raiders are terrible.
As of right now, the Dolphins have the 11th pick. As of right now.
Okay, yeah. So
But yeah, I think basically Mike McDaniel's is like, it's either you, like, Quinn Ewers plays good and you're like, hey, it was Tua was the problem. Maybe you can get some wins moving down the season, or if they just lose out, then I think Mike McDaniel's is fired.
yeah,
I think he would have to basically win out and Quinn Ewers look decent to where he can be like, okay, guys, like, it wasn't fully my fault. They play the Bengals this week, and then they have the Bucks and then the Patriots. So pretty
yeah. Well,
pretty
and
hard.
and like too, it's like the Dolphins aren't really a team that are just a quarterback away from
Yeah,
being
no,
really good.
they're a long ways away.
I would say like with Tyreek Hill, the whole Tyreek Hill situation. Obviously, he's going to be out for a while, um, and it's like he's getting pretty like quite old. So it's like you're going to have to eventually find a replacement for him because Waddle's a great football player, but he's not like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to find someone to fill that spot. That's one concern. Also, like, what about the offensive line, or what about the defensive line, or what about your secondary? It's like those things kind of have to be addressed too. So, yeah, it works when it's like the Bears, and it's like the Bears kind of have that core. They get their franchise guy. They can build around a little bit. And now you see and being a Bears fan, but like the Dolphins are not that. They're not that close to being an elite team, I would say.
No, and they did fire their GM midseason, so they're going to have a new GM. He's probably going to want his own coach, different
Yeah.
players, that type of thing. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward. But yeah, as of right now, looks like Tua's time as the Dolphins starting quarterback is over. But moving in with the cap hit, you give a guy that big of a contract, it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, we have our first round of college football playoffs this weekend, starting Friday night. A lot of controversy going into this, but we're here. Going into it, it feels like the 2 week layoff is weird to me. I feel like we should let's get snippy on this thing.
Yeah.
Um. So I mean, I guess we can who do you think? And all right, so we'll just go off the 12 here. Who do you think? Who do you think's going to win it all?
Well, so I'm sitting here trying to do my math, and I know like to keep the picks
Yeah.
semi. We have a little bit of time to keep giving picks each week, so I don't want to totally give all those up. But just kind of seeing how I think things turn out, I'm probably gonna have to say that I see. I'm between the two teams on the right side of the bracket.
I am as well.
Ohio State or Georgia. I
I
think
would
those
say
teams are going to win it.
I think right now I think Georgia wins it all.
I was thinking about you know what, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna do that too. I think Georgia's gonna win the national championship, and I
Yeah.
really want to dive in to my whole thing here. I'll just do it. I'll
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
So Alabama, I think, is going to get their win back against Oklahoma. I think Alabama wants to prove themselves, and they're going to come out with some tenacity that is going to allow them to win that game. I think Oregon dismantles JMU, and I think Texas A&M beats Miami. I think Ole Miss beats Tulane again. So then we have Alabama, Indiana. I think Alabama gets past Indiana. I think that one, Indiana won the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. If Ohio State makes a 29-yard field goal, I think that game looks significantly different.
Oh, yeah, you're going to
Not
overtime.
you go into overtime, and I think Ohio State is built more for the pow 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 of overtime. Where I think is Indiana, their kind of strategy, which they were destroying Julian Sand all game. So this might not even be true. But I think they have so many weapons where they can just kind of score as much as they need to with a bunch of different guys. I think Indiana is a little bit more solvable on offense. Now their defense played phenomenally, so it's hard to say. But I think Alabama will figure out Indiana. I don't think they're ready. I don't think Indiana will be prepared to deal with the SEC level of aggression and just playmakers all over the field. Then I have Texas Tech beating Oregon. I think Texas Tech has basically everything you need to win a national championship. I'm just a little bit worried about their being in the Big 12, playing against these Big 10 and SEC schools. I get a little bit worried about the competition they face this season, but I think they're good enough to beat Oregon. Texas A&M, I think handles my. Or sorry, I think Ohio State beats Texas A&M, and I think Georgia beats Ole Miss again. So then we have Texas Tech, Indiana. Alabama. I think Alabama beats Texas Tech, and then I think Georgia beats Ohio State. So then Georgia, Alabama in the national championship. Georgia wins.
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Georgia's playing probably the best as of right now. I mean, this could all be changed and be different based off of last year where all the four teams that had buys lost.
Yeah.
You never really know. But I just think Georgia last year had a bye, played Ohio State or played Notre Dame, lost. They're a different team this year. They're better. Gunnar Stockton's not getting thrown into it this year like he was last year. He's played all year. I think not saying that they're the most talented team because Ohio State's probably the most talented team.
Yeah.
I just think Georgia right now, the way they're clicking, I would say win it all. Jerry would go with Alabama. I didn't ask Jerry, but he picked Alabama at the beginning of the year, so he'd probably go with Alabama when he looked at that. But yeah, I just think I don't know. As of right now, if you give it to me, I'd probably say Georgia. Not gonna. I would honestly. I think it could be like Georgia, Texas Tech in the championship.
I think the Alabama Texas Tech game could be close if you play Alabama there.
My fear for Texas Tech is their quarterback. I feel like probably out of all the teams that are not, Tulane may have a better quarterback than Texas Tech. The Riffler kid or whatever his name is, he may be better. So Texas Tech may have the 11th best quarterback in the entire thing. All right, moving on to the games though this week. First game we'll talk about. This is kind of going in. I just placed it off of like what I'd be most interested in watching out of the four games.
Yeah.
So if you'll notice though, when we go through these games, the two games that are the non-powers versus the powers, they're both on TNT. How lovely ABC and ESPN gives those games to TNT.
Right.
Two worst games. But Saturday night, which this game will go up against the NFL as well. The NFL has two games on Saturday at 4 and 8, I think, or something like that. So that will be interesting. Just watch college football go up against the NFL. I'm telling you, I can already tell who's going to win in ratings. Number 12, James Madison at number 5, Oregon. Oregon's a 21-point favorite.
Who did Jerry?
The over-under is 47.5.
Oh, so
it's a low over-under.
Yeah.
Well, they just kind of expect Oregon to basically score like 40 themselves. You can get James Madison though at plus 1100 on the money line.
I'll win you a pretty penny.
Jerry went with Oregon.
Yeah. JMU's had a great season. One of the best probably in program history. I'm not a big JMU.
Oh, they made the playoffs this year. I mean, you got to put it up there
Yeah,
as one of the best.
yeah. So, I just think it ends. I just don't, and this is my issue with this group of five thing, is that there's teams sitting at home right now that are way better than JMU and deserve to. I mean, like they deserve to be there more. So I don't. I think this is an issue with the college football playoff as a whole. I would much rather see like Oregon Notre Dame, Oregon Vanderbilt, Oregon BYU. But yeah, give me Oregon to win by 22 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those games that maybe like James Madison comes out and plays good like the first half or like the first quarter, and you're like, oh, okay. And then Oregon just kind of does what Oregon does. I think
Yeah.
is kind of what's going to happen. Oregon's a very talented team. They have a lot of team speed. But yeah, I mean, this is. I know. Rich Eisen was like, this is for the non-powers that have to step up and play well and prove it. I don't think so as much because to me, if you're the non-power schools, like you kind of blame the ACC that you didn't put Miami, who's your highest ranked team, into your championship when they probably had the power to do that, and then you would only got one non-power in. So it's not really the non-powers' fault. They did what they were supposed to in their regular season, and it just worked out that the ACC was idiots.
Yeah.
And ended up not having their best team in their championship game. When the whole tiebreaker system. So I don't think that they're put up or shut up. I think it's more Alabama and Miami to put up and shut up this week. So James Madison, they're just kind of going into Oregon, just house money, see what they can do. Their coach is leaving anyways. Like it's like, one last ride. So who knows? The next upset, maybe driven team here. This is a rematch. See, this game's more interesting, I think, just based off of Lane Kiffin not being there.
Yeah.
Number 11, Tulane at number 6, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 17.5-point favorite. Over under is 56.5. Tulane, you can get Tulane and money line plus 650. This game is at 3:30 on TNT. Jerry won Ole Miss, but it will be interesting to see what they do without Lane Kiffin, honestly, though, because you can have Charlie Watts Jr. call your plays, but you can't tell me Lane Kiffin's not all over the offense.
Yeah. Well, you think back to what was the date? Let's just pull the date up. It was September 20th. When Ole Miss beat Tulane by 35.
At Tulane, right? It was at Tulane?
Let me look. It was I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, actually. Doesn't say. Anyways,
I'll look it up while you talk.
Yeah. Yeah, again, this is my frustration with this whole thing is that yes, Tulane has had a great season, and I don't know how you even really fix this unless it's almost like you make a not in the tournament like thing for the teams who don't get in, like they do for March Madness. I mean, they should be recognized. With this playoff system, all of the other bowls have lost their prestige. Like make bowls matter again. I don't know. Like Tulane and JMU, they deserve something. So
that's why the talk is potentially in the future bowl games being moved to the first week of the year, to where then you can get better high profile matchups.
Yeah.
You can kind of base it off of like what the standings were for teams the year before, kind of, and being like,
okay,
so instead of like BYU, Georgia Tech playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl at the end of the year, the Pop-Tart Bowl would be at the beginning of the year, and you get that game the first weekend.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It would kind of be something like that.
Well, also, let's eliminate like half the bowl games.
No, you can't because ESPN needs the programming.
Oh, true. Fair enough.
See, that's the problem with it, and it's like everybody that complains about you hurt the derailment of the bowl games, but it's all the ESPN people. I think ESPN calls every bowl game, but maybe 2 bowl games. I think Fox gets one. I think CBS gets one. Past that, ESPN calls literally every bowl game. So they need the programming during the month of December to counterbalance what's going on. I mean, there's been bowl games being played like the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Haven't even watched a bowl game yet this year, to be honest with you.
Well, so there
But there's
are
one
30.
going on right now.
Who is it?
South Florida Old Dominion.
Oh, I
in,
did see that.
in the Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
And Old Dominion, are they favorites?
I don't know. This game's in Orlando that is being played right now.
Well, and so I just ChatGPT'd it. There are 35 traditional non-playoff bowl games this year.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I get why. I do get why. And like you just explained, I didn't really think about that. That is a good point, but it's also a problem. Like, it is it's the reason that JMU can get, like, if you had, say, 12 bowl games or 10 bowl games, and we say, and like you said, you throw them at the beginning of the year, or at least some of them, and then be like, yes, sorry, JMU, and yes, sorry, Tulane, you're probably not one of the best 12 teams in the country. But what we will do to reward you is we'll throw you in a bowl game that actually matters, that is actually important and is actually interesting.
Yeah, I
These
mean, we
bowl
had
games
that,
are
like, 30
completely
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And the bowl games are only interesting based off of who is playing in them. Like Michigan, Texas, I have no idea what bowl game that is. I am interested in watching it because of those two teams.
I think it's the Cheez-It Bowl.
I mean, what
The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, I believe that it is.
Oh my god, dude. We should okay, how about we backpedal? We say, hey ESPN, can we have a V.O.C. bowl?
I mean, we could, like, that's what I'm like. I know, like, the Arizona Bowl's like that. It's now the Snoop Dogg Bowl, but they would probably, I mean, you got to be able to get the money to pony up for a sponsorship here.
We'll start a GoFundMe.
But I mean, just like some of the names of the bowl games are just Duke's Mayo Bowl, Trust and Will Holiday Bowl, AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Lockheed Martin Air Forces Bowl, the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Riela Quest Bowl, Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, Michigan, Texas, Alamo Bowl, Liberty Mutual's Music City Bowl, Radens Technologies Independence Bowl, J Lab Birmingham Bowl.
Hey, what'd you guys win last year? We won the Radens Technology Bowl.
Kinder's Texas Bowl, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Isleta New Mexico Bowl, Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, Pop Tarts Bowl, Wasabi Fenway Bowl, Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Go Bowling Military Bowl, Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, the Rate Bowl, Game Above Sports Bowl, Saraton Hawaii Bowl, Scooters Coffee Fiasco Bowl, New Orleans Bowl.
Well, and so that right there. So there's 35 bowls that are outside of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so that's 70 teams.
Yeah.
70 teams out of like 135 or something. There are 70 teams playing in a bowl game. They shouldn't. Their season should just be done. But like you said, it's all about money and greed and ESPN doing everything.
Programming.
But
They need the programming, dude.
I'm just it blows my mind. And it ruins the college football playoff bracket. But yeah, give me Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean I mean, we just kind of, I mean, I almost wish that we could kind of go back to just like have the playoff be the playoff and then just have like the New Year's Six bowls outside of the playoff. Like don't lump them into the playoff, have them outside of the playoff. But then I know it's like you don't have some of the traditional teams like in the Rose Bowl and stuff like that, and that would be weird. But then that would be like, hey, if you didn't make the playoff, but if you were like, the first 12 out, you're playing still in a prestigious big bowl game and everything else is just playoff games.
Well, I think that would make sure that, I guess you'd have to make it 24 or 26. With the top 24, 26, if you're in the AP top 25, you're getting a bowl game.
Yeah.
And I think that would be good. I think, and then it's something that matters.
Yeah, because I mean, I will say it was weird how like Notre Dame won the playoff game first round, and then we went and played in the Sugar Bowl. We won a playoff game, and then we won the Sugar Bowl, and then
Yeah.
we won the Orange Bowl and a playoff game. You know what I mean? It's like it is kind of weird, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's
Well, and also too, like, yeah, get those bowl games. I mean, I don't know. It's like if you win, like, the quarterfinals or whatever, you won a bowl game, and then if you lose the semifinals, I mean, at least you. But you're in the playoffs. Like, why? What else should matter? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, just make everything a playoff game, and then like just
yeah,
make the New Year's Six Bowls the New Year's Six Bowl, and then to me have the championship at the Rose Bowl every year.
yeah,
The national championship played at the Rose Bowl every year
yeah,
instead of moving it around these NFL stadiums. Be like the Rose Bowl is the pinnacle, which to me is the best bowl game. You play it at the Rose Bowl.
yeah,
That's the national championship every year. But yeah, to Tulane, Old Miss, I'm gonna go with Old Miss. I think it will be interesting to see how Old Miss plays without Lane Kiffin,
yeah.
but they're playing Tulane, so we really won't know, in my opinion, until the next week. But who knows? All right, now to the team that I think is under the most pressure coming into this thing, and that's Alabama.
Yeah.
They've kind of lost the SEC championship. They've kind of been on a stumble. A bunch of people said they shouldn't have been in the playoff. They take on Oklahoma, who's also not looked great coming in this thing. Oklahoma's a 1.5 point favorite. Over under is 40.5. Money line is pretty even. You can get Alabama at -105. I think you can get Old Miss at like -114. So it's the money line is very even. That's what people are thinking about this. This game starts Friday, 8 p.m. on ABC/ESPN. Jerry, even though he picked Alabama to win the championship, he went with Oklahoma.
Yeah. I think there are going to be a lot of alarms that go off in Tuscaloosa if Alabama loses this game.
Yeah, because then Kalen DeBoer of Michigan would heat up.
Yeah. Or yeah, and then I think also if he doesn't go to Michigan, he will be on our hot seat watch, when we come back next fall. So things are gonna. This is I think that the story that's gonna be painted is that everyone who said Alabama shouldn't be in the playoffs is going to get proven wrong. I think that's just how I think it's going to go.
Yep.
That's just like the story I see being played out. Um, and so I'm going to go Alabama here. I think it's really hard to beat a team like Alabama twice. So I'm going to go Alabama. I just don't trust Oklahoma enough to get it done twice. Maybe like a Georgia or something or whatever, but not Oklahoma.
I'm gonna agree with you on Alabama. I agree with Alabama. I think yeah, the way Oklahoma's played has been gross to me. The way Alabama played against Georgia was tough, but it's Georgia. Uh, Oklahoma's last game I saw was against LSU at home, and they struggled to score. And they did end up scoring this last second touchdown to take the lead. Was a blown coverage by LSU.
Yeah.
So I was wide open. I could have made the throw. So yeah, I just think Alabama. Look, they're gonna have like, hey, we lost to Oklahoma at home in the regular season. That kind of hurt us a little bit. We're gonna get back on them. I don't think Oklahoma's a good enough team to beat them twice, but we'll see. I mean, the night home atmosphere will be interesting to watch. That goes for Oklahoma, but yeah, I just think Alabama's gonna be like, look, like we didn't play well in the SEC championship game, but we probably should have beat Oklahoma before if we didn't have as many mistakes. Can their defense do that again for Oklahoma? I don't think so. So yeah, I'm gonna go with you on Alabama. All right, the first round game that I'm most intrigued of because it's not a rematch. We have two rematches in the first round. This game is very interesting. It's basically I would call this the Notre Dame
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Both teams beat Notre Dame earlier in the season, so you can get bragging rights on that. That would be number 10 Miami at number 7 Texas A&M. A&M's a 3.5 point favorite. Over under is 48.5. You can get Miami money line at plus 142. This game is the first game on Saturday, which to me is kind of interesting, which would be 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. kick, I want to say, in Texas. So Saturday noon on ABC/ESPN, but I think they have it there to not have to go against the NFL, so they're going to get their best game out of the way early. So that'll be interesting. Jerry went with Miami.
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with Texas A&M. I think that overall they are the better team. I think that they had a hiccup against Texas, but that hiccup is far less concerning than Miami's hiccup against Louisville. So yeah, give me Texas A&M. I think they're better all around. And I am very intrigued by this game, and I honestly wouldn't be super surprised if I got this wrong. But I don't trust Miami as much as I trust Texas A&M. Now, I don't think either of these teams are going to make it very far, but I do think that Texas A&M is the much better team.
Yeah. So I think where I can kind of go back to this is Miami played on the road at SMU and lost. So I think them going into A&M to that stadium, super loud, the 12th man, all of that. A&M's last game, they want to forget about that, losing to Texas. That's a rivalry game. That game means more than just a regular season loss at the end of the season. You lose to your biggest rival. You get knocked out of the SEC championship game. You get bumped down to 7th in the country. People are like, oh, this team, we thought was a good team is not very good anymore. So we'll see. So I'm going to go with A&M to beat Miami. I just don't trust Carson Beck at the end of the day.
No, me neither.
On the road, Mike Elko defensively, I think they're going to have some stuff tooled up. They let Arch get out of hand, so I think that they're going to look at it and say we cannot let Carson Beck do us like that. I like A&M at home. I think that home field advantage definitely helps them a little bit, and I just expect them to get a little bounce back against Miami.
Yeah, and I will say too, and kind of since Jerry's not here, I will kind of argue for him, is that we watched a Texas A&M team struggle pretty significantly with South Carolina in a half. Now they came back at home, and so they came back and they did everything they had to win, but they won the game, so that's kind of gotten brushed off to the side. If they see themselves in a position like that with Miami, that is not. I don't think that'll be the outcome.
No,
I think maybe they call back a little bit, but Miami is going to not completely fall. South Carolina was not good this year. Yeah. Miami is a much better team than South Carolina. So, but I mean, and you could say the same thing about Texas A&M, though, too. It's like they're much better than SMU. They're much better than Louisville. So, but I'm Texas A&M cannot fall behind multiple scores and expect to win this game because Miami is good enough to bury them.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, the only argument I would argue with you on that is an argument for Jerry, and then the argument against you is Notre Dame was down at Miami and ended up coming back tying it. Miami had to win by a late second field goal, and that was at home. So they have kind of blown a lead a little bit before. They ended up winning the game, so it wasn't a full blown lead, but they did let a team crawl back. And I mean, when I watched Texas A&M Notre Dame play, they were pretty dead even. It was a 1-point game on a botched field PAT. Snap. So, so I don't know. This game will be interesting, but Miami and Alabama have a lot of pressure because if they both go in and lose, the slow talk of the Notre Dame thing kind of has went away since the Michigan thing. We've kind of moved on from it since the Heisman Trophy and all that. And, not these games, but it comes right back up to the forefront if both of them lose this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it completely changes it. And then it's like, whoa, are you kidding me? Like, did we put these two teams in, and
right? They can't even win a game, yeah.
So I mean, it'll be very interesting. I mean, we have two non-powers in, so that will be very interesting. Maybe they shock us. You never know.
If they win, I'll never complain about a Power 5 team getting to the playoff again.
Well, then they would help the argument for more Power 5 teams getting in.
Yeah,
if they did end up winning. But we'll see how it goes. So me and you went A&M. Jerry went Miami. Me and you went Bama. Jerry went Oklahoma. We all went Ole Miss, and we all went Oregon.
Yeah, that's good for me because usually like we pointed out Sunday that I'm 500 or a little below 500. So the fact that I've sided with the man who is the best percentage, I should be looking. I should next year. I'm going third. You get to go first, and I'm just doing whatever you say.
Yeah, I mean, so Jerry is 51-47 on the season for 52%. You are 54-56 for 49%. I am 63-47 for 57%.
That's not bad at all. I'm at, I've gotten some time to ponder on it. I'm not mad at 49.
No, I mean, we have made up until this week, we have made 110 picks. So this would be 114 picks. Jerry's made a little less picks than us. I think like 1 week or something like that. Less picks than we did. But yeah, I mean, you never really know. But we'll see how the small the little guys do this week. Let's look ahead to the NFL real quick before we get off of this. Big week in the NFL. Tomorrow night, Rams Seahawks.
Ooh.
For first place in the NFC, first place in
Oh, that's what I was looking at. You were talking and I was on my phone. The Rams are having an issue getting to Seattle.
Why?
There's something happened with their plane. So now they're trying to find an alternate mode of transportation to Seattle.
Oh, right here. The Rams team flight was supposed to be leaving any minute now. Is expected to be significantly delayed due to an equipment issue with the plane. Per source, the team is currently working on alternative travel arrangements to prevent any further delays going to Seattle. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting because it doesn't look like Devontae Adams is going to play.
Yep.
A hamstring issue, and now they have the flight issue. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, how far is Seattle from LA if you're driving?
I mean, you're looking at a long,
It'll be
probably like a 14-hour at least.
Let me see. I'm interested now.
People are saying great coverage, Trevor. No commitment level doesn't go unnoticed.
18 hours.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
They'll fly there. They'll get a plane or something, but it'll be later on. And I mean, that sucks. I mean, now that's like, okay, the Seahawks, you have no other choice than to win the game. So we'll see there. Bears Packers is Saturday. The Bears are now angering all the fans by saying Northwest Indiana potentially for a stadium going into the biggest game of the year at Soldier Field is the most typical Bears thing. Our Bears are favored by 1.5, so that'll be interesting. Eagles Commanders are at 5 on Saturday.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't realize that.
Jaden Daniels is done for the year, so you don't have to worry about that. Eagles are 6.5-point favorite. We have Steelers Lions this week.
Is that Sunday?
Sunday at 4:25.
Steelers Lions. Okay.
We have the Bucks Panthers play at 1:00.
Bucks Panthers.
Both 7-7, trying to fight for the division. Broncos and Jaguars play at 4 on Sunday.
You know what? That has a lot of implications in the AFC. The Broncos are kind of thought as to being kind of at the top of the AFC right now, but the Jaguars are not far behind.
No, they've played pretty well. Trevor Lawrence come off the best game probably of his career.
Yeah. So that's going to have a lot of implications. If the Jaguars can win that game, there might be a little bit more steam built behind that old Jaguars team.
That is true. Patriots and Ravens play Sunday night. It's basically an elimination game for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Win, you kind of stay alive. Lose, you're probably done. Looking at it.
John Harbaugh to Michigan.
Yeah, there you go. Michigan man, Ohio man. Harbaugh guy. 49ers and Colts is Monday night.
I'm interested to see Philip Rivers play again. I think he did pretty well. With all things, they missed a lot of guys on the defense. He put them in a position to win. Yeah. The 49ers, they kind of just struggled with the Titans. So that's a little alarming. But this is the NFL, and any team can be competitive on any day. So I'm a little intrigued in the old Philip Rivers if he can get it done. If he can, dude, imagine he gets into the playoffs. I kind of feel bad for our boy Nolan specifically because the Colts hype has died a little bit because of what they've dropped 4 in a row now.
I think so, yeah.
So that's not great. But, imagine they just keep on chugging along with old Philip Rivers at the helm. Get to the playoffs. Super Bowl, probably not likely, but
I will say, so not only did he reset the clock for his Hall of Fame candidacy, but he also got his family another 5 years of health insurance.
Nice.
Yeah, so his 10 children.
I wonder how where is he at on like the passing leaders?
He's up there. Let's get his comments. This is all from Creepy Photo. Telling you, Caleb, man has leveled up since dad news. Okay, Trev, you're losing me with these Duval games. You gotta stop. Fuck the Jags first and foremost. Phil isn't getting it done, Trev. Don't lie right to my face.
He probably won't get it done, but what if he did?
It would be it'd be a great story. I mean, if he took him, like he got him somewhere, maybe took him to the Super Bowl, did something that crazy. It's like Hall of Fame right there and then.
I'd say forget about the 5 years, just throw him in.
I mean, you have to. He's already done his 5 years, but it resets clock. I feel like when I heard the health insurance thing, I felt like he came back just for the health insurance.
So he is 7th all time in
Yeah, can you move
passing
up
yards.
though with like doing anything?
If he threw for like 1,000 yards, he'd pass Ben Roethlisberger.
So 1,000 yards in 3 games. Okay.
But touchdowns, he is 6th.
Can he do anything there?
Yeah, let me look. How or passing top 10 passing touchdown leaders NFL. Let's pause for a moment. Let's pause. Tom Brady, yeah, okay, ChatGPT. Oh my God, it's okay. Here we go. So Philip Rivers at 6. If he throws, 87 touchdowns
Yeah,
in
that's
3
not gonna
games,
happen. Yeah.
he'll
No.
pass Brett Favre.
He's got a better chance at 1,000 yards in 3 games.
Yeah.
Big Phil going to be in a crowd chamber after the game. Probably. I mean, it is what it is. It's been crazy to think that he even came back, though, and what they thought about the quarterback room in Indianapolis for them to bring Philip Rivers off the couch. So we'll see. But yeah, first round of college football playoffs.
Did you
big
see?
week in the NFL.
Did you see Cam Newton was chafed about the Colts going and getting Philip Rivers
And not calling him.
and not calling him?
Shocker.
He was chafed at the idea.
Chafed. I mean, I don't know about chafed. That's
he was.
Did
chafed
he say he was chafed, or did that like the headline?
I added the chafed part. He was upset though. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said it was like a slap in the face or something like that.
Well, I mean, Philip Rivers, I will say, I mean, arm strength was never really a thing to begin with in his career, but he knew the system. That's kind of why they brought him in.
Well, and I think too, the thing with Cam Newton was kind of his phicality.
Yeah, like, if you can't run the ball, there's no point. It's like Tim Tebow. You can't run
people over. Yeah, then it's not really worth it. Philip Rivers, Cam Newton, that season he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl, phenomenal season.
Yeah, peaked there and went downhill there.
Yeah. So he's never been, I would say, great quarterback, but not in here as much as Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers will get it done regardless of the physical things you need him to have. Cam Newton, I think, relied very heavily on his physicality, his physicalness, and that is why he was so good, because he was 6'5", 250 pounds, and ran like a 4.5 or something. And he could just run people over.
Yeah,
but also was a great passer.
Yeah, I mean, when he could throw it, when he was on, he was on.
Yep.
But yeah, so no, it'd be interesting to see. Big weekend when it comes to football, NFL wise, college wise. We'll be back Sunday with Jerry.
It'll be the beginning of my winter break.
Oh, why? Yes, of course it will be. Eh? So you don't have school at all next week?
I don't have school at all next week or the week after.
Wow.
I'm very excited.
You only get 2 weeks off?
2 weeks off, yep.
That's it?
That's it. I know it should be like a month off, but maybe a polar vortex will hit, and then
I don't know. It's supposed to be 50 on Christmas.
That sucks. That really sucks for a guy like me. But luckily, Christmas weather doesn't matter to me, because the only thing that matters to me is like 2 weeks after Christmas.
No, I get that. It's just I hate when there's been snow leading up to Christmas and then we don't have any on Christmas.
Yeah, and it's like green. It's
irritating.
like Christian. I mean, not Christian. Christmas.
All right, we're gonna.
All right, on that note.
Yeah, we're gonna end there before we get we go viral for things we don't want to go viral. No. We'll be back Sunday with Jerry to break down kind of everything in the world of football, basically, as we move forward, and we'll see. Maybe we get some upsets. You never really know this weekend. But as always, thanks for watching.
Peace.